Sri Lanka's civil war may be over, but the dispute over how many people died in the conflict's last weeks is heating up. The Times of London newspaper says senior United Nations officials knew of an internal estimate that more than 20,000 civilians may have died as the Tamil Tigers made their last stand. Speaking to the Reuters news agency, UN Under-Secretary-General John Holmes responded to suggestions that the world body had been trying to hide the truth. He said, "I resent this allegation that we've been colluding with the government in some way or not taking sufficient notice. We have been the ones drawing attention to this problem when the media weren't very interested several months ago." And he says the estimate of 20,000 deaths is not something the UN can verify. Holmes's office declined requests by Al Jazeera for an interview. The Times says these aerial photographs show the tiny strip of land in Sri Lanka's north where most of the casualties were. The newspaper says the pictures show row upon row of graves of both rebel fighters and civilians. The estimated death toll of 20,000 is highly controversial. It's more than twice the Sri Lankan government's official estimate. Even more stinging are allegations that UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon knew of the 20,000 estimate when he visited Sri Lanka earlier this month. Documents obtained by Al Jazeera show that the Office of Humanitarian Affairs had detailed estimates of civilian casualties. At that time, the UN characterized the Sri Lankan government's figures as a gross underestimate. The UN has been reluctant to release estimates regarding civilian casualties. They say the numbers are impossible to confirm because, like other humanitarian groups, they have been denied access to the conflict area. And it's now becoming clearer as to how the government may have tried to keep aid groups operating in the conflict zone from openly revealing conditions in the area. Al Jazeera has obtained a copy of an agreement the Sri Lankan government has asked some aid agencies to sign in order to work in the country. Part of the agreement says NGOs may only reveal information to parties the government approves of. It says information can only be released to, quote, persons duly authorized to receive such information by the ministry and the government and the partner organization. It goes on to say the government may take legal action against organizations that violate the confidentiality agreement. The UN was not asked to sign the agreement, but says it is unhelpful. Azhar Sukri, Al Jazeera.